Reloading Bench back with you once again, and today's video is going to be about comparing the new with the old on a rather large charge with Hodgdon US 869 for the 416 Barrett. And what I thought I would do is I've got the instructions as I've shown you for both, and do a couple of tests on just turning it on each of them and loading the charge or dispensing the charge, and then fine-tuning with the speed and the time on both machines. So I wanted to show you a baseline of just turning on, dispensing, and then my thought is if you fine-tune anything, you'll get it to work. But I think a good measurement of how something functions is kind of right out of the gate. And I will say that some of the obvious differences in dispensing that the old unit has, that the new unit, wow, it's early and I've not even had tea. The new unit does not have the capability, as is documented in the buttons, page 4 and page 5. The one button difference in terms of capabilities from the original auto charge is the ability to, and if I can find it, to trickle. There is no manual trickle capability that I'm aware of, at least yet, on the new unit, because what I used to do with the old unit is I'd get it to a certain weight, because trickling was, which is why I have this little third-party 3D printed nozzle. Trickling was the most challenging function with this particular device, and what I ended up doing as a standard for me that worked was I would undercharge the target weight, and then I would slowly trickle up to the charge. Whereas this has a time and a speed that kind of does the trickling functions only automatically. So we'll set this up and we'll see how it works. All right, so again, nothing preset on anything on either of the auto charges. I will dump some powder. And that takes care of that. That powder is dumped. I will put the lids back on. All is good. Power up. Might help if I turn on my switch. Power up. And it looks like right out of the gate, dumping powder into here produced that much in the old measure. Hopefully we're at 0. And we are not, which is not a problem. A lot more came out of this one. Again, no big deal. And that's way off. Oh, not way off, but almost a grain's worth, and that's probably because that was what was on the platen. So, mental note to self, starting out is a little messy with this particular powder. And I'm not, wow. So there is so much. I'm going to tap this so that we can get what's in there. I don't know if you can see that, but this pipe is what I'll call full. Full. And I'll mention also, if you look on YouTube, you can find, wow, so a tenth tenth of a grain off, and I don't see anything on the platen. Let me get my good buddy. All right, so we will zero and calibrate. Same thing's happening on the other scale, so I'm not going to lose sleep. I will remove both plastics, both shields, just in case. I will zero. And both of them are zeroed. I will now calibrate both. Actually, I think you have to hold that down for a few. Ten grams, A-OK. I wait for the 50 grams. Now I should get a pass. We're good. Okay, we're at grain. I will zero. We're at zero. I will calibrate. Ten. 50. Pass. All right, and it went back to grains, so we're good. And I will zero. Whoa. Okay, we are at zero for each. I'm going to press target, and I'm going to do 100. And actually, I don't know if 190 grains will fit in that pan. So I'm going to say target. Let's just do 50. Oh, didn't like that. So we're going to go 50 grains. And I'm going to say dispense. And let's see what happens. And nothing happened. Target 50. 50 grain. I forgot to hit enter. Now we'll hit dispense. And again, no editing in terms of speed or time. At least at this point. And it came out right at 50. So we'll do the same thing in terms of target. 50. Dispense. And if that's 50, I'm going to say we should be able to do 190. So we'll give 190 a try. And just on auto settings, or default settings is probably the best word, I would say that the Pro version is much faster. In fact, we'll do a side-by-side test here in a second. Now, I probably should have taken that this little, what do I want to call that, third-party adapter for the Trickle. And without question, this is much, much, much slower. And again, these are all factory settings, to my knowledge. But I'm old, so anything's possible. And we're probably exemplifying exactly what I said that I used to have to do is I would get an undercharge. Normally it's an overcharge. And then I would just trickle to get my 50. And again, the new unit does not have a trickle option. that I'm aware of at the moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll start the and I had it set to let me check mode, and let me cancel that, change mode to manual, and it doesn't want to take that. Mode. All right. We will come back in. The joys of a live demo. We will come back in and change mode to manual, and we will change, we will 0. We will change the target to 190 grains. And we will change speed from slow to normal, fast. We'll go normal because that is the default. We will change this one. Target is going to be 190. Okay, target 190, setting normal. Setting is just your program setting. Speed, default 0.07, and time for trickle to begin is 0.7 of a grain beforehand. So I will click this one first. And we'll see what happens. And nothing's happening. And we will now dispense 190 grains on this one. I will say this one's quieter, the new one, the Pro version. So we're at 21 grains on the old and 118 on the new. So differences of speed. Maybe I'll change the old one to fast. And we're at 189.8, 0.9, 90, 0.91, 0.90. Okay, so I would say we're right on the money on the new one. Well, the old one is still 30% done and a long way to go. So we'll try. Let me pull out the directions and see the difference in speed. Speed sets the number at which the unit will trickle. Large number equals faster trickling with lower accuracy. Smaller number equals slower trickling with higher accuracy. Time just sets how many grains from target weight the unit will begin to trickle. Same thing, large number opposite. Large number equals longer trickle time, higher accuracy. Smaller number equals shorter trickle time, lower accuracy. So again, this being default factory setting, I'm more than happy with the degree of speed and accuracy that it popped that 190 out at. And if I had my phone with me in front of me, I think what I will do is actually time the next drop. And we are still waiting. So I'm going to go fast. Or rather, I'm going to change the old unit to fast and see what it will dispense. And I'll put my stopwatch on. So that is my time. And we are almost there. And this is taking a bit of time. So maybe this segment will be its own video as well. I was thinking maybe the small pistol and large rifle powder charge differences would be... So you can imagine how maddening this is when you're loading .416 Barrett and having to take this much time for each powder charge. A little frustrating. Which is why, in an effort to speed things up, I would put this on the fastest, load it to something well below 190, and then trickle up manually. It's still tossing out grains. And we should be just about done. So I am not going to time that, but that was a significant amount of time. And it still hasn't decided if it's done yet, because it hasn't beeped. There we go. It's still thinking. Still thinking. There we go. Now give me a beep. There we go. That was a LFT. Long time. All right. So let's try this again. We're going to do, for noise comparison as well as speed, we will do, again, factory default, speed of 0.7, time of 0.7. We will do the 190 grain dispense. I will click start, and you can hear the difference. It's really quiet. We're at 12 seconds. And I will hit stop as soon as .30 seconds. 33.8 seconds. And right on the money. All right, so now, just to get powder off the bench, because powder causes mess. Keep everything zeroed. And there's still a grain that pops in there. All right, we're at 0. You saw that that was a 33-second dispense at standard time. We're going to change this time to fast manual, and we're at 0. We're at 190 grains. I will reset my clock back to 0. Oh, the correct button, and reset it back to 0. And we will click dispense. And we're at roughly 6 seconds, I'm guessing. That did not take, so we will hit dispense again. Okay, we will try for a third time. Again, speed is on fast, target 190. I don't know why it's not dispensing. All right. I'm at a loss. Zero. Manual. Fast. Dispense. Okay. I'm not sure what to say. Let's come in clean. We will set speed to fast. We will set mode to manual. We will set target weight to 190 grains. And we will click dispense as soon as I get my timer going. I'm going to guess that 190 grains is too high for fast. So if I put it back to normal, let's try that. Wow. I don't know what to say here, folks, other than you're seeing manual, normal, 190 grains. All right, that was weird. I'm not sure why it didn't want to execute on fast, but it looks like we're going to be doing another test of normal speed. No, not a little bit faster, because I think the other was 33. I'll show you where we get it. 33, we're at 29, 31, 33 seconds, we're at 46 grains, which is not quite a third of the way there. 60 grains is almost a third of the way there, and we're at 45 seconds. So we'll try fast again one last time, and then that'll be the end of this comparison. Probably helps if I have both of them in frame. About halfway there, and we're at a minute, a little over a minute. Much louder. No points plus or minus for that, but obviously quieter is better. I will say that if you look at the Hornady video of this that's out on YouTube right now, it still shows the pre-production model. It shows a picture of this, but the machine they're actually using is the pre-production, where I think the button was in the center and the weights were up front here. And it showed, demonstrated the person doing the trickling or the charging afterwards was able to just pull the charging pipe out, tube pipe, and wasn't even a pull. It was just it just glided out. There's nothing I found in any of the directions or anything I can reference that says that that is removable. And when I tugged on it yesterday, a very light tug, it was met with resistance. So I will not be trying to pull that out. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're a couple of grains away. .230 on normal speed, and I'm going to guess this is going to come in at roughly 2.5 minutes. Or excuse me, 3 minutes. So imagine reloading 50 of these, 3 minutes for each charge. That's 50 times 3, 150 minutes, 2.5 hours just on charges. 310, 312. Wow, that's a long wait. You folks can fast forward through this part of the video. So we're at 320 on, and if memory serves, this was really long. So let's just call this, we're at 330 right now. We'll call this probably almost 4 minutes for a charge on normal or default, which I think is kind of funny. So just on this alone, for this particular caliber and this powder, I wouldn't change anything on the default settings for the Pro. Happy with 30 seconds for a charge, because 30 seconds is enough time to seat a bullet and crimp a bullet and pull it out and put it in the tray. So 190, we're at 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, one last try. I emphasize that word, try. because we're going to try to go fast. I'm going to reset. So I don't know what I was doing differently before where it wouldn't work on fast, but I'll chalk that up to user error. I'll give Hornady the benefit of the doubt, as this scale has been good to me, and by that I mean it has performed in well in all aspects in terms of it stayed alive, didn't die after the first year, the buttons are responsive, the black backlighting still works, illuminates, and again the only challenge has been playing with the trickling features. There are some codes, some cheat, I think I talked about in a previous video, some cheat codes you can do for permanent as well as temporary settings. And let's see if I have that. I want to say I have. Yeah, so you can program trickle speed at a slower speed if you have a serial number above 2840, which this was, to prevent overthrow. So essentially it'll undercharge. You press the calibrate button for 6 seconds till you get the set, then you press speed to increase or decrease speed. Normal factory setting is between 0.4 and 0.8, and you can go up or down. And after reaching whatever speed you want, which is very similar to what's up here, you can then click back or cancel to store the speed, and it will not reset after you turn the unit off. The trickle start time, which is up here, can be set as well. Again, not as simple as hitting this and hitting some buttons, but you have to do the mode. You have to hold the mode button for 2 seconds, and then it will display the speed that it's trickling at, and it begins trickling at approximately 0.2 grains before the target weight, and you can increase or decrease that from 0.2 to 1.6. Unfortunately, that setting goes bye-bye once you turn the system off. All right, we're at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and we're almost there. So I would say that that's a big difference from 4 minutes and a handful of seconds to, it looks like we're going to come in around maybe 3 minutes. We're at 2:30 right now. So in terms of speed and efficiency, hands down, without question, they're not even close. So the nod goes to, there's a thumbs up. I think that's the first thumbs up. We're at 2:50, so we're going to come in right around 3 minutes. And we're 3 minutes. We just passed 3 minutes. Wow, that's just... this is where you'd want to adjust the trickle. Because 190 grains, 190.1, not going to be a deal breaker. Whereas on something like a high pressure round with FN57, that might be a difference. So we're actually coming in higher than I thought we would. All right, 330. 330 for 190 grains versus, what was the other one, 4 and change, maybe shaved a minute off. So I will call this a done. And now I'll show you what I do. What a pain in the butt, and everything will be in the way, I'm sure, what I do. So I'm going to maneuver, and I'll show you what I do for cleaning out the reservoirs. And this is where I think the new Hornady will get the nod. So get rid of everything. The mess will come because there will be stuff, powder, still in here. Might as well turn it off. Turn that off. And usually get it to a ledge. My funnel, my trusty funnel, and then I am emptying. Might as well pull the weights because those will fall off. when I go to tilt. And you probably can't see, and if I try to adjust the camera with my left hand, all hell will break loose. Yep, and there's what happens when you get too aggressive with your tap. So I close this because mess is a given, and then I will tilt this backwards to try and get the stuff out of the tube. Plenty of tapping, and then I will repeat. And then I take my air gun, and I blow it out. All right, so that's the process for this machine. Let me disconnect everything, do the same thing. Get rid of shield, tray, weights. Methinks if I dump this back a little bit initially, I'll keep powder from falling out. Maybe that was the general hope. All right, this is a virgin process, for me at least, and we'll see how well this goes. Empties out quickly. Tilting it forward is probably the right thing to do. I don't know why I didn't tilt that forward either, but all right, I will do the same thing. Tilt that back, and once again, see what's left over. Quite a bit. And then I will take this into another open area, which I will do offline, and blow it out with the air gun. Okay, that is it. Long video.